You are standing on a street, but not the one you know around you. No cars, just carts full of manure. No streetlights, just torches. No pavement, just sludge made of mud, waste, and things you don't want to think about. You are in London, but not the London you know. You are in London in the year 1350, the city where the plague killed every third person, where water from the Thames kills faster than the plague, where you could be hanged for being too smart, or too stupid, or just in the wrong place. You are a time traveler. And you've made a huge mistake today. We're going to the dirtiest, smelliest, most dangerous city in history. We'll survive in medieval London, or die trying. Spoiler, you'll want to go home in 5 minutes, but you won't be able to. Let's go. You thought time travel was glamorous, like in the movies. Fancy costumes, balls, elegant speeches. You were wrong. Your time machine broke, not exploded, just broke. You were aiming for the Renaissance, Italy, Leonardo da Vinci. Instead, you are in London, the 14th century, in the middle of the 100 Years' War. The 100 Years' War, by the way, was a conflict between England and France that lasted, you guessed it, about 100 years. In 1350, it's been going on for 13 years. There are 87 years left. England is losing. The mood is not good. Congratulations. You are the unluckiest time traveler in history. You take a breath and you realize that was a mistake. Medieval London smells like nowhere else on Earth. Here's a partial list of what you are inhaling: burning coal. They burned anything they could get their hands on. Wood was expensive. Coal was cheap and dirty. The air is thick with sulfur. Wood and fish. The Thames was full of fish, but also full of waste. Fishmongers threw their unsold catch directly into the street. Horse manure. London had thousands of horses. Each one produced about 20 pounds of manure per day. That's tens of thousands of pounds of horse waste on the streets every single day. Human waste. There were no toilets. People used chamber pots and threw the contents out the window. The streets were literally covered in human feces. Animal hides. Butchers slaughtered animals right in the city. They skinned them, gutted them, and left the remains in the street. Plague, miasma. People believed the plague spread through bad air. They weren't entirely wrong. The air was bad. Very, very bad. You start coughing. Your eyes water. You wish you had a respirator. You don't. You only have clothes that smell strange and will attract attention, and you are thirsty. That's normal. The temperature isn't high, but the mud is exhausting, and you are sweating from fear. You head toward the Thames, down in 1350. The Thames isn't a river. It's an open sewer. Everything gets dumped in. Waste, garbage, animal corpses, chemicals from dye shops, blood from butchers. The water is brown, murky, with floating chunks of things you don't want to know about. You'll die from dysentery faster than from the plague. Dysentery is an infection of the intestines that causes severe diarrhea with blood. In medieval London, it was a death sentence. You'd lose all your fluids within days. No IV drips, no medicine, just death. The only source of clean water is wells, but they're not safe either. Rats, carcasses, sewage seep into the groundwater. Well, water is a lottery. Get lucky, you won't get sick. Get unlucky, you'll die in 3 days. If you absolutely must drink something, find a monastery. Monks had access to clean water from springs. They might share. But you'll have to convince them you're not a heretic first. You're hungry. Do you have money? Number. Do you have food? Number. Do you have survival skills? You thought you did. But you don't know how to milk a cow, catch fish in a filthy river, or haggle with a butcher selling meat that smells off. Medieval food isn't what you're used to. Let's break it down. Bread, the staple food. But medieval bread was nothing like today's bread. It was dark, dense, and often contained pebbles from the grinding stones and insects. Lots of insects. Bakers added chalk or sawdust to stretch the flour. Vegetables, onions, cabbage, leeks, beans, all boiled into a gray mush. No salt, no pepper, no spices. Just boiled sadness. Meat. If you were rich, you ate fresh meat. You're not rich. You'll eat salted meat. Salted meat is meat packed in salt to preserve it. It's rock hard, incredibly salty, and often spoiled. You'll chew it for hours. Fish. The Thames was full of fish, but the fish in the Thames tasted like the Thames. You don't want that. Ale. Everyone drank ale, not because they liked it, because the water was deadly. Ale was safer. Weak ale, small ale, was drunk by children. Strong ale was for adults. You'll drink ale, you'll hate it. You'll be grateful. You'll eat porridge. If you're lucky, you look strange. Your clothes are the wrong fabric. Your accent is wrong. Your manners are suspicious. To a medieval Londoner, you are a stranger, and a stranger is an enemy. What do they do with strangers? Chase them away. If you're lucky, they'll just yell at you and throw rocks, rob them. If you're not lucky, they'll take everything you have. Your watch, your shoes, your clothes, everything. Kill them. If you're very unlucky, they'll accuse you of witchcraft, or heresy, or just being foreign. The punishment for all three was death. You don't speak Middle English. Even if you did, your dialect would give you away. The English of 1350 is almost unrecognizable. Here is a sample. One that April with his shore soot the draught of March hath pursed to the root. That's the opening of Chaucer's Canterbury Tales. Can you understand it? Probably not. You don't know local customs, don't know who to bow to and who not to. Don't know which jokes are jokes and which are blasphemy one mistake, and you are in jail. Or on the gallows. In 1350, the Black Death has already swept through London. It killed between 30 and 50% of the population, but it hasn't left. It will come back. It always comes back. The plague was caused by bacteria called Yersinia pestis. It lived in fleas. Fleas lived on rats. Rats lived everywhere. You couldn't escape them. The symptoms: first, fever and chills. Then, painful swellings called buboes in your armpits, groin, and neck. They grew to the size of an egg. They turned black. Then you started coughing blood. Then you died. Total time from first symptom to death: 2 to 5 days. You have no immunity. You have no antibiotics. You have no doctors you can trust. Medieval doctors believed in humors: blood, phlegm, black bile, yellow bile. Their treatments included bloodletting, leeches, and prayers. None of them worked. If you catch the plague, you'll die. There's no cure. Only hope that you won't get infected. Stay away from rats. Stay away from sick people. Stay away from crowds. Good luck. You're stuck in medieval London. Your time machine is broken. You need to survive until you can fix it. Step 1, find a church. A church is the only place where a stranger might not be killed immediately. Priests are supposed to help travelers. Pretend to be a pilgrim. Pilgrims were common in the Middle Ages. They traveled to holy sites. They were poor, humble, and left alone. Step 2, find work. You don't know any useful skills for this century, but you can read and write. That's rare. Most people were illiterate. Become a scribe. Copy manuscripts. It pays poorly, but you won't starve, and you'll be indoors, away from the plague. Step 3, only drink boiled water or ale. If you can boil water, do it. Kill the bacteria. Better yet, drink ale. It's safer. Find a tavern. Ask for small ale. It's weak, cheap, and won't get you drunk. Step 4, stay away from rats. Our rats carry fleas. Fleas carry plague. Don't touch rats. Don't touch dead rats. Don't go near places where rats live. Granaries, docks, sewers. Run from rats. Step 5, don't stand out. Wear local clothes. Copy local manners. Don't argue about religion. Don't argue about politics. Don't talk about the future. Don't mention germ theory. Don't mention electricity. Be a gray mouse. London in 1350 is not the London you know. Let's take a tour. The Tower of London. Already there. built by William the Conqueror in the 1100s. It was a royal palace, a prison, and an execution ground. You can see it from across the city. Don't go near it. That's where they keep the prisoners. London Bridge, the only bridge across the Thames. It had houses and shops built on it, and traders' heads on spikes. Heads would stay there for years, rotting in the sun. Don't look up. Westminster Abbey, already there. Built in the 1000s, kings were crowned there. You can visit, just don't steal anything. The streets, narrow, dark, muddy houses leaned so close together that neighbors could shake hands across the street. No sidewalks, no streetlights, no police. The markets. Cheapside was the main market. You could buy anything there. Bread, meat, fish, cloth, shoes, medicine. Also, you could catch the plague there. Crowded markets were plague hotspots. The executions, public executions, were entertainment. Hanging, beheading, burning at the stake. Crowds gathered to watch. You'll see them, you won't forget them. Your time machine broke, but maybe you can fix it. You need parts. In medieval London, there are no parts. No electricity, no metalworking, nothing that can replace your broken circuits. You are stuck forever. But there's another possibility. General relativity says that if you travel through time, you create a new branch of reality. You can't return to your original universe, but you can create a new one where you are the first-time traveler. You could stay in the past. Marry, have children, become the ancestor of someone who will invent a time machine in the future. Then the paradox closes, or you could try to build a new time machine from scratch. In medieval London, without tools, without materials, without knowledge, you could try to accelerate technological progress, teach people about germ theory, about electricity, about engines. But they'll burn you as a witch before you finish your first sentence. That's theory. In practice, you'll probably die of plague within 3 years. We traveled to medieval London. What did we learn? The Middle Ages aren't romantic. They're mud, death, and fear. The movies lied to you. Water kills. Never drink from the Thames. Never drink from any source you can't boil. The plague doesn't spare anyone. You have no immunity. You have no cure. Your only hope is to avoid it. Survival is possible if you are quiet, useful, and lucky. Find a church. Find work. Don't stand out. You can't go home. Your time machine broke? You'll stay in the past forever. Or until the plague gets you. Now, a question. If you ended up in medieval London, what would you do first? Run to a church? Find a tavern? Try to fix your time machine? Drop it in the comments. I am genuinely curious, and if you want to travel to another time and place, ancient Rome, revolutionary Paris, or your own city 100 years ago, smash that like button. Subscribe to We Animation. And remember, the past isn't like the movies, it's worse.